welcome to week 13 of the HPL, the last game of the weekend. Make sure my audio is good. Apparently yesterday you guys couldn't hear me too well, so hopefully it's good now. My name is Heathen Hammer, and yeah, this is Exodus versus TL. Exodus really looking to make a statement with this game. The last time these two teams played on PHL, we saw a decent defensive line from Exodus. However, where they faltered is they really got way too wide. I'll actually pull the big map so you guys can see here. They got way too wide with their defense, and I believe... Okay, so this time TL is playing Allies in Axis. Are we pushing 8 or like Cabbage Patch? Or we were on Madeline Farm? Not too... I can't remember exact the sides, but I remember the way the game flowed. TL was able to bait the defenders off the point and off the strong point, enough of them, so that a bombing run with a big push with 2 Tigers and infantry was able to crush through the lines. So really, Exodus didn't do too bad of a job setting up their lines, but they need to be more compact. And they need to be able to have the respawns available, so garrisons, outposts, and redeploy to that mid. They can't get baited so far off by these airheads, by these wide flanking maneuvers. You know, they have to stay focused on their main objective, and that is, if they're defending a point, they need to hold the strong point. And if their bombing run comes in, they need to quickly reset. They need to they need to let their team know what's going on. We need to see those redeploys back to the active objective, because last game they were way too wide over on the middle of the map, not able to defend the strong point. We saw TL drop airheads in the middle of the map, baited some people off. Doing a good job fighting that, keeping that airhead up, making it look like that's where the push was coming from. Putting up garrisons a little further out, baiting more people off. You know, then they put up another garrison a little closer, cut through between the two defensive lines of Exodus. And once that happened, I believe whoever's commanding, maybe Coltrane, realized that he could put a bombing run. They smashed up the middle of some tanks, and the game was over before you could blink. Another thing I'd like to see is Exodus's tanks, how they're going to approach this game. They got smashed last time out versus TL. If those tanks can stay up, I mean, TL will have much harder time pushing. And lastly, I'd love to see this move out from both teams, how each team is going to react. You know, what point we get. Do we get Carrington Causeway? Do we get flak position? Do we get pillbox? Last time, yeah, I mean, I don't know which is more advantageous to either team. I think maybe flak position might be a little more advantageous towards 20th versus like Causeway or pillbox. Regardless of what we get, artillery is going to be really important here. If artillery can be on point for the whole game and, you know, not be overrun by infantry, that's going to be a big point of this game too. Really, the onus is here is on Exodus. They need to fight for some pride here. They need to put it all on the line, get that midpoint, commit the bodies necessary to it, and we'll see if their tanks can hold up on their own too versus these strong TL tanks. Another thing I'd like to see, you know, TL's fighting for the first place in the Americas division against BST 2501. Regardless of the fact TL has beat BST 2501, the Spanish team has done better versus other competitors in their league and against interleague rivals. So they actually have more points. So that's going to be something that's interesting to see here, how TL plays, if they can 5-0 this quickly and maybe try and close that gap towards the top team, which is the Spanish team, BST 2501. Hopefully for them to get that top seed, because that's going to come into play when the playoffs start, right? You don't want to be going against Core in the first round, that's for sure. But for we've seen steady improvement from 20th Exodus. You know, they had a rocky start. They had to reset their team. You know, then you have a couple, like, remember here, they forfeited their first game versus SevH because their previous partnership fell through. That's 20th. New partnership comes in. It took a couple of weeks to get adjusted, but since they've got adjusted, they've started playing a lot better. You've seen steady improvements in their game, kind of like 38th from the European division. So now it's just about tying that all together. You know, their defensive line's looking good. They just need to be more responsive to attacks and not get baited so far off of the sector. Not even a strong point. Like, they were baited out of sector by TL last time. So I'd like to see that line come a little closer together and be a little more firm on the defense. And then also we'll see some more attacking from them. You know, if they're going to use airheads, please, for the love of God, maybe use recon vehicles, recon squads to protect them. Don't just wish them into existence, or maybe do a bombing run combo with that airhead onto point. I'd love to see that from both teams because honestly, we haven't been seeing enough airhead play during this season. At least airhead play that's successful. Even if you know the bombing run is not 100% because there could be people off of that bombing run. But if they just try it and maybe have some recon to Overwatch, that greatly increases the chance of success for an airhead. Um, what else? Yeah, we're just waiting for the map to flip now. I'm not going to type in game, see if everyone's ready. Because it is 3:02 here. Of course, this game is on a 15-minute delay. Week 13, one of the last games before the playoffs. And yeah, no, it's good. Hopefully, we have a good game here. Hopefully, 20th can put some pressure onto TL Redline, and make them a little uneasy on the defensive side. We haven't seen that enough. We did see that versus Core. We have seen that in the early weeks when TL was playing against BST 2501. And I'd love to see that again tonight and have a nice game here. And you know what? If Exodus, if 20THPzG can figure it on the defensive and just tighten up those little things they need to get right, they have a solid defensive line. My biggest worry with 20th Exodus is the tanks. You know, how can their tanks hold up? Maybe they need some more help from infantry AT. You know, maybe we need to see some more AT kits out there to deal with the tankers. You know, that's something that has been successful. And we haven't seen, we've seen more teams optimize towards AT, I think, as the leagues progressed. You know, at the start, it was really only Core who was running a lot of AT. But Core has a multi-use for AT, right? They love to use it on team pushes. If they've set up a Gary near a strong point, Core, will love to use AT. They'll pre-fire windows, walls, anywhere where there's a known like spot for a Gary or cover with the rockets. But also a trade-off of that is if there is any armor around that point, they'll have a rocket, 2 rockets, 3 rockets, heck, even sometimes 6 rocket classes there ready to go, right? So that's another thing that Exodus could do to maybe limit the power of these TL tanks. Now, on a map like Purple Heart Lane, it's not as bad as Foy. There is a decent amount of cover, but definitely in the middle of the map, there's not a lot, right? When you get into Carrington Causeway, if that's a point, I mean, the whole sector, not even just in the middle on the sector, but all adjacent sectors there, it's pretty much open. There's a few buildings on flag position, a few on pillbox, and there's a few hedges, but I mean, tanks just have insane sight lines all through the middle of that map. So it's a little harder on a map like this. Maybe we'll see an AT gun or two, or maybe we'll see some hull down positions from the tanks where they can really effectively use their guns and fire to help their infantry. Because like we've said at the top of the broadcast, with 20th, the way they crumbled, yes, they were baited. Their infantry was baited a little farther off the strong point and even the sector, but also those tanks went down super fast, and that's what allowed the steamroll to come in from TL and take that last point to win the game 5-0. So I don't know if that's going to happen this game. I hope it doesn't, though. I hope we're in for a good game here. I hope that steady improvement from 20th PZG Exodus continues. They keep climbing that ladder. You know, something akin to of what we've seen from 38th Infantry. Mind you, 38th did get crushed 5-0 against Core, but I mean that's more or less par for the course throughout this league so far. So yeah, interesting to see what we're going to have here. We're a little late starting. I think what is it? Both teams have 49-48. So caution the refs to start the game here because it is 3:05. And this game should have started 5 minutes ago. Let us know in the chat what you guys think. Who you think is going to win? TL, hashtag TL, or EXD, 20th PZG. Who do you guys think is going to take this one? And who you're cheering for? You know, you don't necessarily have to believe to cheer for somebody, as it looks like the map has flipped and we're just about to get into this one. I honestly think that 20th EXD should be able to hold this. If they play it right, if their tanks play it right, if their AT is on point, right? But you know, if TL gets going, it's hard to stop them. They're kind of they play quicker than BST 2501. They play a little quicker than the Spanish team. They definitely love to go for like hard attacks though. And some aggression from their recon too is always nice, or their kill squads. Anyways, we are just about to go into game. We'll play a little intro and then we'll be right live for the live cast. I hope you guys enjoy this one. This is 20THPzG on the Axis in blue and Exodus, apologies, versus the line playing out of the Allies in red. Oh my god! Look at all the bodies! Oh my god! It didn't work! Let's go! 38's going for a cap race! Welcome to Purple Heart Lane, everybody. In this match, 20THPzG Exodus versus the Line, formerly known as Red Line, formerly known as BR1TL, coming out on the right side of your screen, repping the Allies. We have an interesting kind of a W, if you would draw a line between forward battery for the U.S., Douve Bridge, flag position as the neutral midpoint, Madeleine Bridge as the first axis cap on their side of the map, and then Cabbage Patch as the last one. I believe this is almost a mirror of what happened last time we played this map with a push onto Cabbage Patch for the last point. I don't think we had Madeleine. I think we had a different second point. But I mean, this is going to be a familiar game here for 20THPzG and for TL. Now, looking at the map, you can see what the Axis is throwing. They are throwing two tanks. Looks like a light tank and a medium. So a Lux and a Panther going up the mid with a supply truck. You have about a recon squad loading up in two vehicles. Going down to harass the artillery. You have supplies already coming out on Cabbage Patch. Surprisingly, not a lot of people going straight for flak. I'm a little concerned, actually. Are they going to be coming in on the flank and looking to attack flak from the flank? Like, where are the supply trucks? Oh, there it is. It's just hiding under the supplies. My bad. Not a lot of infantry in that one, though. One squad lead with a recon vehicle. Got Hasselmeyhoff in that one. And if we check the scoreboard really quick, your commanders are Doc, THPzG, and Coltrane for TL. Coming out on this one. Match kicks off here. You can see the movement coming out. Not a lot of bodies from 20th coming to point. I wonder what this strategy is. They're stuffing the midpoint here, and they're going to have to watch out because tank fire is going to be coming straight down that midpoint. You can see the Lux trying to hide behind the Panther there. He's got to watch out as the two vehicles come down to flag position. And here, tank shots already being exchanged between Douve Bridge and the 20THPzG side. Look at that, the Lux firing down the main road. See if we can zoom in and catch what it's hitting. Hitting something. You can see a full squad there in PL on the west side. Nobody right on point as of yet. You can see one full transport truck coming in. Artillery markers go down. Could this be... Oh no, the truck's just going to bypass the river there. We'll drop it out. Phil looks to have this quite firmly in hand. I mean, where was the truck? They didn't make it. They got stuck. They didn't make this. You can see first truck coming up here from 20THPzG Exodus. My truck is going to keep around it. So just a really odd recon vehicle comes in on the east side. Not shot in right away. One rocket left from my here as he used his first to take out that here. that game sounds a little high to start this one off. I've lowered them back down to acceptable levels. Apologies for blowing your eardrums out for there. 3-2 off the start from CL here. Exodus again, like decent defensive line. Would have loved them to shove that first point though, and I don't know. Are they playing for is this a strat? Like give up the first point, let CL settle in, hammer them with Artie, and then counterattack maybe with an airhead? Not too sure, but from what it looks like right now, there isn't too much challenging here against TL. You can see already Ghoster, Pop 323, and Pop already pushing up. Go on board with Ghoster here as he wades through the water here. Takes out one with that bar. Looking for some more kills. Gonna drop one off the roof. Steiner goes down. Multiple contacts here. Sorry, that's not a bar. That's a Baran. 3 kills here for Ghoster. Turning a bunch of these enemies into ghosts as he goes. 3 kills so far. Looking for a bigger kill streak. Gonna be coming up against Mighty Goose here on the left side. Doesn't see him though. There's a big bush between. Ghoster kind of the tip of the spear here for TL. Uh-oh, Goose knows where he's at. Ghoster gets taken out by Stayman. As the second Puma does go down, yeah, Puma's in the open there. I mean, you just got a 76 or 75 on the background, just smacking anything that gets marked out here. Of course, we can't see the markers for TL's side, but I'm just assuming, like the first shot it lets off, there's going to be a marker that gets dropped in that 75 or 76 is just going to be hurling AP rounds in its direction. Rather accurately, mind you. So the front line here from 20THPzG starting to crumple as the scouts for TL push out. You can see Monk's got a few there. Pops encircled. Now that's not too dangerous yet because we do have the next point being Madeline Bridge, so it is to the northwest. But you know, it's not the end of the world if they do lose some stuff on the east side here, but I wonder what's going on a little closer to home here. You can see some infantry markers coming out from the defenders all the way to the west. Let's see if we have anyone over there right now defending. You can see TL Mackey's there. He's been figured out though. You can see that. Exodus line is a little further out than I think they'd like. They let Mackey by. And Mackey's going to be going playing some The Floor is Lava, maybe? I mean, surely Juninho can see Mackey over here. Oh, who's Mackey engaging? Taking some shots on the Balson. Balson going to patch up and peek. Taking some damage, taking some shots. Going to go back and heal a little bit here. This is stalling Mackey out though. Mackey needed to push this, maybe with grenades. Just as this fight's going on, he's losing position. I mean, you have 2-3 members. Looks like Juninho might have crushed his OP. Just stalling out Mackey enough here maybe to take him. Of course, there's a barbed wire there. You got to run all the way around. A little game of cat and mouse here between Mackey and Balson. Balson does win there for the Exodus defenders, because if Mackey got by, that would be bad news bears if there was any supplies already pre-dropped on the backside, especially for the Exodus defenders. You can see here we have supplies dropping in concert almost. Not too sure, is that an airhead or a that looks just like a run-of-the-mill supplies. I don't think that was an airhead from the Axis team. You can see a Panther pushing up there. We're going to go on board with the Panther. You got to watch out. While he is engaging infantry, he does have some concealment. I'd be wary of the crouching Sherman. There it is. Yep, just about time before that came out. First shot comes out from the Sherman. You can see just peeking over. Both tanks taking hits here. Panther taking a lot of hits. Not too sure if that last one popped him. You can see the deflate this tank's in though. Real nice spot. Really only the turret is peeking out over cover. I'm not too sure if that Panther's down though. Looks like the Panther has fallen back just a little bit. Gonna be looking to repair. However, he's repairing in enemy territory right here, and one more of those artillery strikes hits, and yeah, everyone's dead. Trucks go up a bit. Panther's trying to fall back here. Silly Little's going to be going for a shot, though. Uh-oh. This is going to be dangerous. Artie's still dropping, though. If Kill's not careful, he'll just kill their own AT. Also, this Panther... Panther's got to be careful. Silly Little does go down, but, you know, Panther's opening himself up to the threat. I mean, there should be a shot here. That is the Sherman right there. I don't think he's not looking anymore, unfortunately. That could have been a free kill. Sherman is looking somewhere else on the map, not looking back at the previous Panthers position. Panthers are going to get it free. We can see here Allied supplies going down from an airhead. That's dropping right into the middle of a whole bunch of blueberries, of course. Nexus team players here. Not a lot of progress being made. You know, we said it before the show started. 20th Exodus have a decent defensive setup. Like when they get set up, they know their line. They can get a decent defensive line set up. It's just about how TL can dismantle it. You know, it looks like Logistic. Oh, Logan Stink. Did he died. He drowned in a Greyhound. And that Greyhound's dead. I guess he found a spot where he couldn't pass and drowned. Okay, that's a big oof there from TL. Gonna delay their attack and their offensive pressure probably for a little while. Now, the only thing I'm a little worried, maybe concerned about, you know, it's not a huge hassle on a map like this that's open, but look at this big gap in the middle here. Truth be told, I believe there's no real cover, so you're kind of putting your hands in the Hell Let Loose gods, or your life in the hands of the Hell Let Loose gods, going across an open field like that. But you know, it could work with how much chaos is going on in the battlefield. You never know. Someone could get by, especially if it's a squad lead. That'd be huge. Still, the majority of the pressure here from TL is coming in on this eastern side. Not too sure. I'm assuming these infantry down here are just looking to get across the canal. Raycast is going to trust his luck. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What does he do? Oh, does he just about makes it there, Raycast. Good job. Would be more than unfortunate if he drowned like his buddy in the Greyhound, that's for sure. Oh, and we are seeing cap progress onto Madeline Bridge. Now this is going to be specifically, I'm guessing, okay, so it must be an airhead from over here. One would assume that it is. So airhead coming in on the backside, nobody to defend. Don't know too much what the defense is doing, but if I was anybody that was like 200 meters off point, I'd be calling for a mass redeploy right now. Onto a garrison on point. Bombing run probably going to be coming in soon. And TL is starting to make cap progress. You can see, is this going to be an airhead? No, that's going to be supplies for a garrison on point. TL already prepping to take this into the garrison up. The recon vehicle comes in. Puma's not going to spot much out on the backside as this push is materially coming from the western, southwestern side. One would assume there's an airhead possibly back there. Maybe Mackie got by, or old Leroy got by and put up a garrison from an early drop. As you can just tell, there's no blue bodies in sector. Obviously, that even if it's a garrison that's being put up, that won't be overrun. Panther are going to be ordered in, but that's a lot of bodies to deal with, and I don't know. Really, Brenter here needs to get set up in one of these windows, watching the southwest. So we'll come in the window with him as he gets his machine gun up. He's not looking the right way, though. And he's going to get popped. Okay, they're taking cap progress. They're not in front of you. They're not to the east side. No, your boys are over there. You can see that. Let's maybe look southwest. Yes? No, he runs back downstairs. Unfortunately there for the MG, 20THPzG, Not too sure what he's doing. Oh, finally. Yes. Yes. No. I really want to get a cool shot of this machine gun lighting some of these TL guys up as they come to point. I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. Brenter is a little confused as where the push is coming from. And that's just allowing TL to literally push right up to point. I mean, they're on point here. Lawns are going to be overran. The garrison's going to be overran. Sivs is going to get this Gary for free. Not even going to go for it. Going to go for kills here. And I guess this point's just going to go to TL. Very, very shocking defense here from 20THPzG Exodus. They got to assume that they're going to get attacked from the opposite of where their team is, you know. But they don't have anybody here to deal with it. And honestly, their garrison's gone. I mean, nobody's taking it. So a defensive bombing run, and it still could stay alive. I don't know why everyone's bypassing this Gary here. But I mean, it's going to be a real hard time for 20THPzG to take this one back. They should have a bombing run up. I mean, Sonafair spawns in on the Gary. He's going to get instantly dropped, though, by Not. Yeah, just kind of an odd one here from 20THPzG. They had a nice defensive lineup. Finally, that Gary's going to go down. No bombing run? Like, reinforce? Okay, but you need a bombing run to cover. Drop a defensive airhead towards your infantry. Let's rotate and see the east side to see if there's actually anyone left for 20th. Yeah, there is. Like, why has nobody respawned? Why is there still a full Exodus squad on the south here when they've already lost their point? It's 90% taken. Like, I'm absolutely flabbergasted that no one's redeployed. This is gonna go down. This point, like, bombing run needed to come immediately. Airhead needed to come immediately. Lux is the only one left on point. Now, if by some miracle they get a few more bodies in point with that reinforce, maybe it'll work. But I mean, there's just nobody there. This is gonna go 4-1 to TL for free. Absolutely free on tap here. And there it is, 4-1 to TL. Kind of a atrocious defending here on the backside from 20th. I just don't know if it wasn't like stressed enough in their comms traffic that they needed to fall back, but like, I mean, TL didn't do anything really at all during that point. They essentially just walked onto point off of a spawn, and maybe got 2 or 3 kills. Like, there was no opposition, no resistance, and nobody really had kind of a clue where the attack was coming from. Garrison, you know, honestly, and if we saw a bombing run on point, we might have had a fight there, because that Gary didn't get taken out by TL either. Really kind of sloppy from both sides. TL does take the point, though, fairly easily, and looks to set up for a 5-0 on this one. It's just like, everyone's just running back to point here, to the west for some reason, instead of just redeploying instantly. Not too sure what that's about. Regardless, you can see here, Exodus has a respawn onto Cabbage Patch. Their defensive squad is back. Velo, Black Bones, EBS, Brenter. Hopefully you can bring that machine gun to bear, pointing in the right direction this time. Now this point's a little harder to take. You know, there's a bunker, there's trenches. Not a whole lot of attacking avenues here. Magic Jokic is pushing down the canal here, but he's a squad lead, so an OP here with a redeploy could be fairly dangerous towards the defenders. If Jokic can make it further down, get an OP up, I mean, realistically, a full redeploy and a squad of 6 could take this point here, because I don't think anybody's expecting this one. Jokic maybe opting to go for some kills here. Don't think that's the play. Does get 1, looking to get 2. Naked Jesus over here. Excuse me, sorry about that. Bless me. He's gonna get dropped. I literally can't hear me through this audio. Apologies there. I lowered the volume of the in-game. Yeah. Magic's gonna get dropped though. I was kind of hoping he would go for the Gary down here, or maybe go and get an OP up somewhere. Checking the map out, you know, he could kind of flank around and go on the flank over here on the edge of the map. Maybe get an OP there. but you are rather exposed. Regardless, that doesn't happen. No spot outcomes on the defensive line, but more importantly, there is no defensive line anymore for the defenders here in blue. 20th PZG Exodus. Like, there's a scattering of 6 bodies. Nobody's in the bunkers. Nobody's in the trenches. No machine guns mounted, and that's just gonna let Little and Aerothan essentially walk on a point for free. Artillery coming in on the defensive, possibly, or offensive. Not too sure, but Silly Little here is about to be confronted after he's probably surprised about being able to walk right onto point for free. Like he dropped as a bot. Bot goes down. Looking for more targets. Probably going to be a little surprised that there's literally nobody defending on point. Bombing run comes in. I mean, there's no one to bomb. His 20th is no longer there. I'm going to check the map to see if that's a defensive bombing run. Oh, okay, it was. Yeah. I mean, one guy. Defensive bombing run comes in for 1. Smoke comes out. Or sorry, offensive bombing run. I'm tripping. That was definitely the Allies still. The only person they killed was someone on their team. So again, bombing run for 1 guy. Gonna be followed up by Smoke. Aerothan pushing in, gonna try to 1v6. Doesn't work out. Aerothan drops. And right now, the artillery, I mean, is just killing people on point. If that's TL's artillery, they're doing more harm than good right now. Smoke and HE coming out at the same time. TL seems content to kind of just shove it back on a point as we... Ooh, this might be an airhead. I'm excited. No. It's just going to be Allied supplies. Okay. So, if anything, that's going to be a backup Gary over here as Pepper gets killed. Spayman taking him out. Pepper probably... yep, and his OP goes down. We're probably going to go try and get a Gary up. Not successful there. Madeline Bridge, literally under no threat here. TL has got that solidified. I mean, even having maybe more numbers than needed back to defend. The attack, you know, I don't really like this defense right now from Exodus. You can see, ooh, possibly maybe another airhead going down on the backside here from TL. Either an airhead or a Gary way back. I don't know if we've had enough time for a second airhead to come out, so... Let's see right here. So, yeah, that's gonna. Oh, yeah, there we go. Airhead for TL. So I'm assuming then that the first time was just a normal Gary from TL. Airhead essentially in the HQ of the defenders in blue here, 20th PCG Exodus. And yeah, this doesn't work. This hard point defense really doesn't work. Once you get encapsulated on point, it's almost impossible to defend. You can see there's even a Sherman joining the party here. And I feel bad for the 8 or 9 bodies left on point because they're just getting surrounded right now by TL, and it's only a matter of time at this point. As we do see that capture on the critical sector, where I haven't seen a bombing run, I haven't seen an airhead from 20th PZG Exodus. We did see the reinforced, however, it just came out alone and there was nobody in sector. So I'm assuming they don't have a reinforced left. You know, a bombing run and airhead maybe in about 10 seconds. You might as well drop it now because everyone on point's dead. That Gary on the backside is down also for the defenders in blue here, and we're already 50% cap progress on point. Uh, 20th PZGX is putting themselves in a really bad spot here. You can see that Gary is so far away, and all the members coming back to defend just need to run literally through an open field to get to point. So as TL secures this 5th point, you're going to see all of them push onto this berm and set up a defensive line on the point, and it's going to be a shooting gallery. It's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel right here for TL. as the members of 20THPzG in the blue try to push across the field. Like, look at this. It's just it's a C. It's like how many kills? Literally pull up. You're gonna get 20 kills if you're a good shot, and you're gonna see bodies just start to drop in the field right here. 80, 90%. No bombing run. No airhead coming in to save anything on point, and that's gonna be the game 5-0 for TL. Just like that, TL taking the game 5-0. Kind of an easy match. Honestly, I'm a little surprised about the defensive formations there from 20THPzG. We'll be right back with some analysis of the game right after this.
Oh my God!
Look at all the bodies! Oh my God! It worked!
Let's go!
38 score for a cap race. Oof. I mean, man, what can you say about that game? We saw the shape of 20THPzG, and exactly like kind of like we said in the pregame, they get too far. They get good defensive line set up, but I mean, the TL. I'm assuming they got a Gary up. I don't think it was an airhead. It could have been an airhead also, but regardless, you just need one body in the back line. You know, you need the commander back there. You need a body back there looking, head on a swivel. Oh, there's an airhead dropping. Okay, have somebody within 100, 200 meters to run and take it out. You know, when you're getting attacked and when there's like 3/4 cap progress, or sorry, a quarter cap progress, why aren't you looking opposite of where your guys are? You know, why aren't you collapsing on your strong point? Why aren't you dropping bombing runs, defensive airheads? These questions kind of we've seen a step back from 20th, I feel, 20th Exodus from previous weeks, and where, you know, defensively, at least there's been like a regression. It's simple kind of basic things that are just getting overlooked here. And TL walked into that fourth point essentially for free. They even walked by the Gary and didn't take it out, allowing a spawn to come in. Why would only one person be respawning there? Why wasn't there 20? You know, I would assume there would be 20 people looking to spawn on that Gary that's still up on point. Instead, we saw a lot of the defenders who were wide kind of slowly running back to point. So just really ineffective redeploys from 20THPzG Exodus. Really ineffective defending, just a lack of defense at all. And that just allows TL to penetrate and take the 5-0 fairly easily. I mean, they didn't have to fight for the fourth point. They didn't particularly have to fight for the middle point either. I don't know what delayed the rollout there from 20THPzG Exodus, but they were very slow. They didn't make it to the midpoint. We had two squads of TL on the midpoint, while 20THPzG Exodus maybe sent half a squad. Like, we even commented in the pregame, okay, we didn't see anyone going to the middle point, the first point. Where are they? Okay, well, there's a squad in a recon vehicle. Wait a second, the supply truck's half full, right? So they kind of sent a half full supply truck that didn't really make it to point. And by the time that German supply truck, that 20THPzG Exodus supply truck made it to mid, TL already had two squads deployed with an AT looking, right? So what can you do? That ends up being the game, a quick game there for TL, taking all the points home for them. And yeah, we'll be back next week with some more action from the HPL. I hope you guys enjoyed it. 4 5-0s this week, with Tango forfeiting the game versus SevH. But you guys have a good rest of the weekend here on Sunday, and we'll be back next week with more HPL action. I hope you have a good one. We'll see you all next time, guys. Peace.